Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and the flagship of Arrowverse is obviously Arrow, the complete series, and I've got this on DVD because I generally couldn't find the Blu-rays, and I've only just noticed I've got a dink there. I'm not sure how that has happened, which is quite annoying. So there's a couple of bits about this set that irritated me more than the other sets, because this is the flagship. It would have been nice to have all the crossovers in there, because if you're going to just watch Arrow, I say this every time, you want to watch all those crossovers, especially Crisis on Infinite Earth, that has such an impact on the end of Arrow and Oliver Queen. So I was a Smallville verse. So when this was first released, I was not going to watch it. I generally wasn't. I was going to avoid it. And, well, I got sucked in, man. But for all the good series, I don't feel like they were all fantastic, you know. But that's like everything, you know. And I feel like, you know, 8 series is okay. So my big point is this front I love. I think that's really cool. That's really peed me off now that I've noticed it. I'm not sure how I didn't notice it before. On the top you have Arrow, the complete series. Now, firstly, the sides, I'm not sure what else they could do with this. So you've got 2 box sets within there carrying the 8 series. So 4 in one, 4 in the other one. Nice and simple. I'm not sure what more they could have done with that. And then you get to the back. The back, I think, is pretty cool. I love the Arrow piece here, and it's got a little synthesis here. Talks about some of the characters, a lot of them that I've forgotten. I mean, in particular, I think my favorite series was the 3rd series. That was my favorite series of Arrow. And maybe it's where I was watching it with the other seasons that it become a little bit more of a chore, and I got a bit drowned in it. So I'm really my intent is to watch this, and apologies, I'm getting messages in the background. My intent is to watch this as a whole, and this is where it irritates me about these events, because then I could have just watched it. Instead, I'm going to specifically go and buy those DVDs because, well, A, I can, and B, it makes my life a little bit easier. And I'm hoping that I enjoy this so much better without having to watch this Arrow, Supergirl, Batwoman, Constantine, DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I'm just going to watch this as a whole, and I think that's the only way that I can achieve it. Now, the annoying bit is the next bit. The bit that should have been fantastic is this bit here. So instead of just giving us a nice Arrow bit down the side or something cool down the side, because it is a big enough area, they have literally taken all 8 series, the cover of all 8 of each release, and literally just pinned it on the top. So literally they're saying, we've taken all 8 series and we've literally shoved those discs in one set. Okay, so there's the edit box. You know, I could get away with putting it like that. I generally have it like this because it saves a little bit more room. But generally, I could do that if I really wanted to on my shelf. So here we go. So I'm going to move this one out of the way because then it's easier. So we've got Arrow season 1 to 4 on the side. Nice bit there that we've seen. And then we got this nice view on the back. Now, opening this up, so other than the Blu-rays, which I've been reviewing over time, they all had genetic discs, whereas this has literally the discs that were probably being released as they were being rolled out. I'm going to carefully move that. That one looks like it's going to fall out. And then on this side, it's a little bit more... No, it just changes every season. There we go. So we have that on that side. And then I'm going to carefully... he says, sip this out. Okay, right, so this is the bit. So the first 3 seasons, there were no crossovers at all to worry about, and it's sort of only season 4 that there is a crossover. So they have the crossover with the Flash, which is great. and then pretty much that is it. So that crossover with the Flash actually happens on here, which is great. I really do like that. I think that's a great choice. And I'm going to gently pop that back in there. He says what he's trying to do, he's review in a reasonable time so you don't get bored and go elsewhere. And then this side, once again, nice picture of the Arrow. Actually, yeah, exactly the same as the other one. I don't think I actually showed this. So, and the same as the picture on the front, although the front looks a little bit more glossy. But I love this piece with the Arrow. I think that's very cool. I mean, you do sort of have the Arrow on the back, but this is a little bit different. And then opening this up carefully. This is a bit more generic. So you see they got bored of adding graphics and just decided after season 5 they just went generic, which is fine. That's fine. It's all fine. We don't mind that. In fact, I think I like the generic approach because everything's just the same. It's nice and easy, although you could get confused when looking at your discs. Now, on this, once again, it has all the episodes, which is great. And yeah, so season 5, episode 8 is The Evasion. And it says this is part 2 of the epic crossover. So in reality, you have to buy all the other sets to watch that as a whole. Yeah, that annoys me. I'm sure it annoys you. And then, yeah, season 6 is exactly the same. Crisis on Earth X just has part 2. Now, if you remember my Flash review, maybe even Supergirl and DC Legends of Tomorrow, I honestly can't remember. They generally they all seem to have Crisis on Earth X, the whole thing. Very simple. And then Elseworlds, yeah, so they've only got the one episode of Elseworlds. So whereas, once again, Supergirl and The Flash have those because that's the crossover for that. And then the final crossover, which is Crisis on Infinity Earth. This is hour 4, and it just has the one episode. So from that perspective, even though the others don't have Invasion or Crisis on Earth as a whole, Arrow seems to be, at least they got some of the crossovers on there. And I find it bizarre when you do crossovers cross brands. I mean, I remember collecting CSI Vegas, and whenever there was a crossover with Miami or New York, they shoved them all in together. Because some people may not like Miami because they don't like David Caruso. I can't remember, is that his name? I actually thought it was all right. But then when you start noticing things that people point out, then you get a little bit irritated, like the glasses come off. Anyway, I digress. So I find it a little bit irritating that we have the whole of Arrow, but we don't have those events that Oliver is so pivotal in those moments. I mean, essentially, he is the leader of when that superhero group come together. He is that lead for those superhero groups. So from that perspective, a little bit disappointing. But then I guess marketing, they're selling these things individually. So they're saying, oh, do you know what? You can buy them here if you want. So, hey-ho. Anyway, that is my review. I do generally like this set. I love this cover. But, you know, I'm entitled to gripe, etc. So I hope you like my video. If you do, please do support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. Really appreciate it. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.